informative session from Mohd, Khaja, Zahed. And the topic is trust in one agent. So where you're from password chaos to zero trust in one agent. Over to you.
Hello. Good morning, everyone. I hope everyone are doing great and very excited to start today's Mac admin session and carry forward all the coming sessions to attend all those sessions. So before I begin, I just want to do some small thing so that once we are done with that, then I'll start my presentations. The very first thing is I would like to give a genuine gratitude to the Mac admins organizing committee, to all the vendors, all the sponsors, those who are here that made us come into one platform and assemble here. So it's a very, please give a big round of applause for the Mac admins organizing committees, the event management, everyone. So they had been working a lot. They had been working very hard to get all of us here. It's like something they have been working to deploy the how we manage our fleet. So deploying the some things and gathering the devices. So they have gathered all the Mac admins here. Before I go for the next thing, I would like to ask one question to everyone. So, what is the biggest challenge that any IT admin or any engineer like working in the IT face? One thing that they are like very much concerned and very much worried about that. Yes, absolutely. And any other answers? Managing device, security. Any more answers? Data loss. The user itself, yes. But don't forget, we are also users. we are, yeah. Enrolling manually, yes. But out of all those things, one thing that we are always concerned is about getting appreciation, right? Right? We work so hard. We work in different shifts. We compromise our week offs. Okay, we are ready for a rotational week offs. Okay, right? We never get that appreciation that we actually deserve or something, right? So, but this is the platform that is there. So, I would like everyone to clap for yourself, for everyone who are in this room. Okay. Thank you so much. So I think this is what we actually feel like, okay, if we get something this kind of appreciation, what other teams, other engineers, other people get, we get more excited and more happy, right? Okay. Now they say like jack of all trades and master of none, but often master of one. So I'm here today to challenge that one, and what if you can be the master of all trades and master of many? I repeat, like the jack of all trades and master of many. So, in giving you a small introduction, so my name is Khaja Zahed. I am from Hyderabad. If I would have been a Mac, then there would have been many OS versions from 2011, starting from 1.0 till 2026, all my experience. So, I'm an engineering graduate. I started my career in HAL. Yes, that's right. That's Hindustan Aeronautics Limited. And then where the precision is not a preference, working in aircraft industry or aeronautics industry is where precision is not in preference. It's mandatory to have that precision. Then I worked in, as a biomedical engineer, where I thought like when I can fix something that can give the use of by using the technology, keeping the people alive, using the equipments or anything. And from there, I worked as into sales and marketing as well. So I thought, like, why not, what I learned, why not I sell that one as well? So that's where the penny dropped. Like, then I believe and then I understand technology is not just about building and not about just fixing. It is about connecting the dots that nobody sees, right? So that's where I thought like jumping into this one. And sorry. And then I started, I am actually an Apple certified iOS technician and Mac technician as well. I hold certifications in Okta administration, AWS, Cisco networkings. Okay, so these are the different areas and infrastructure kind of thing that I have worked already and still working. So on any day, you will find me knee deep into Iru, that is formerly known as a Kanji MDM, where managing fleets and building automations. And then wrestling with some Intune services also. Everyone are aware that how Intune works and how it behaves when you come to manage the devices. And then using the cloud infrastructure, architecting the infra of a company. And also, like if you have heard or not about Threat Locker. So I work on Threat Locker as well, locking out the devices of the users when there is something is not needed or when there is a compliance issues. And after that, like I also work on the deployment using PDQ for Windows devices, and then orchestrating identity governance, identity of a user from using the Okta. And similarly, like getting integrations for one or the other tools and all, and having everything in a place so that for end users, that all this chaos of using multiple things can be sorted out. So by hearing this, I think you may think, or some people may say, like, I have too many irons in the fire. But I say, like, the more the irons, the hotter the fudge, right? That's the thing, right? That can be. So you can, if you take from endpoint to cloud, or from identity to governance or compliance, zero touch to zero trust deployments, yes, these are all my platforms. Okay. A very quick question for everyone. How many, just raise your hands, how many you have managed or handling or enrolled few hundred devices, like up to, like, say, from 500 to 1,000 devices, something? A few hands, right. Very good. Nice job. How many people have managed more than 1,500 or 2,000 devices? A good number of people. And how many people are managing more than 5,000 devices or 8,000 devices somewhere? Yeah. So guys, you actually need a vacation, not a conference. Yeah, but then, yeah. So let's begin. Let's buckle up, fasten your seatbelts, because after this session and after end of this complete throughout the day session, you'll definitely help. This session will definitely help and understand you. What if my Mac just knew me? So that's the thing that I wanted to present today. So starting with this. This is like a platform architecture in the sense like how Iru is managing, and obviously like every MDM is managing, right? They have the cloud services running, they have the agents getting deployed, and how the AP and SAP, all the protocols are working, and how a device is managed, how the endpoint, any device is managed, right? So this is just a general architecture, how we are, and now we are into DDMs also. Have anyone of in this group are using Iru Kanchi? Okay, so you might be aware of how the homepage looks like. So this is how the homepage looks like of an Iru when you log into the console for the administrators. So this is how it looks like. On the left-hand side, you'll see a couple of options, like from managing the endpoints, devices, where you can see how many devices have been enrolled, and what are the blueprints. Are you aware of the blueprints of Kanchi? Yes. The people who are already using Iru, they are much aware. But the people who are not aware of Iru management, so in Iru, there is a concept of using a blueprints. Okay, so blueprint in the sense like the complete, all the policies, the configuration profiles, whatever the parameters that you are using, whatever the configurations that are being used, you have to define it first, bind it with a blueprint, and then add the devices during the enrollment, onto that particular blueprint. You can have multiple blueprints, like there might be some teams, like for finance team, you have some set of application that should be installed only for the finance. There are some set of policies that need only for the sales and marketing team. So based on these departments, teams, divisions, you can create the blueprints. So that is how a blueprint is managed. Just assume like a blueprint is nothing but a blueprint of a building, right? How we see the complete design of the building will be there. It is something like that. So this is how it page looks like. So where you can see. So don't worry about this white thing. These are the like the data is like it's been masked. So I've removed the data of my thing. So you'll see the devices. You can always rearrange the columns. Okay, based on your preferences, which column you need. So that's just a user kind of things. There you see the library items, blueprints. So library items is nothing but that holds all your configuration profiles, all your policies, all your applications, okay, that you are going to deploy. Either it could be a Kanji deployed applications, or it could be a custom applications. Okay, and then we have Iru has now the identity compliance. So, like it was formerly named as a Kanji, right? Now it has changed to Iru. So there is a small story behind this. When Iru came into the market way long back, so they were only into the MDM management. They didn't have any other things. And by the way, you know what is Iru Kanji? The name. Have anyone heard? So Iru Kanji is world's tiniest, deadliest jellyfish. You may never have came across it, but who are using, definitely they know it. But Iru Kanji is the world's very tiniest, and it's the deadliest jellyfish in the world. So that's where from there they have came with. So when they launched it, they had like a big name, like calling us Iru Kanji MDM. So that they didn't like it. So what they did is they used only the Kanji name, and then with the MDM features. Now that they have evolved into some multiple things, like they don't only just manage Mac devices, they are now managing the Windows devices as well. Also, they have identity. They have the compliance things, where you can see the vulnerabilities of your devices as well. So now, as they have evolved in one or the more other products, they have now came back with the name Iru. Okay. So going forward, so for my session, like I would say, like what is the exact main problem statement that we, as an admins, we are facing. Okay. So very common and a very big problem statement is the local password is not your identity password. Okay. So do everyone agree here? We need to have like, there might be like multiple password for the user, right? Different applications. So now we had an option of using the SSO IDPs, where we integrate all our service providers to the IDP. Still, we have one password for one IDP, that's SSO login. But then the system again has a different login, right? So that's what the local password is not equal to the IDP password. The other thing is like the password swallowing. Password swallowing is nothing but when you change your one password, does it affect the other downstream passwords also or not? Right? This is also one of the password, right? We have some compliance policies saying that, okay, you need to refresh your password every 180 days, every 90 days based on the security policies. How many times can user remember multiple passwords, right? You need to change your Mac password every 90 days. You need to change your IDP. You need to change your application password. You keep getting messed up, and then at the end you'll get a ticket saying, "Can you reset my local password? Can you reset my this password? Can you reset my that password?" Right? So that's what these are the problem statements. For that, all these problem statements, we have the Iru has a very good feature called as a Iru Passport. Okay, so just related with your passports that you have to travel, that's one password you can travel throughout the world, right? You don't need a different passport for going to US or different passport going to United Kingdom. You have only one passport. So similarly, kind of things, the same kind of you can relate the things. The Iru Passport. What is Iru Passport now? Iru Passport is nothing but a technology, or it's a platform where your identity passwords are synced with your Mac passwords. So both passwords are synced. And along with that, when you enroll a new device, instead of creating a account locally, local account manually, Iru Passport helps in creating a local account as well for the user. Now again, here is another challenge. What about the password for once I create a local account and if I enable the file vault, will my password will be synced? Again, there's a challenge. You need to update your password, okay? Because your identity password is different. You change the password. Will it get synced or not? If it doesn't sync, user will have one password for the file vault, one for the IDP again. It doesn't make any sense again, right? But Iru Passport will helps you to change. Once you change your password, the password will get synced with your file vault as well. So which is the biggest win for all the IT administrators, all the Mac admins that we are using, right? So, and it's a very real-time thing. It's very fast when it compares to any other things, because the moment you change it, within 30 minutes, it actually syncs within less than 30 minutes. But within 30 minutes, if the password is not synced, you will get an prompt to enter your old password and a new password. It's a very automated process. And all these things, configuring Iru Passport, you don't need any separate scripting, shell scripting, or some different kind of application to be deployed on the system, nothing. This is a part of a Iru library item, where you can just configure it based on your company policies, security policies, and that will allow you to create the accounts and as well as to sync your passwords as well. So now the problem statement that we had just a slide back, where your local password is not synced with your IDP, is solved now. So that's the benefit of what Iru Passport does to an end user. So now he'll have only one password. Whether he changed within 90 days, 9 days, any number of days, it will automatically get synced with your IDP password also. So this is the authentication flow, how it actually works. So when the user logins, he enters, or he or she enters, with the help of the Iru agent, the identity provider, there will be a SAML integration which will be created on your IDP side when we configure the Iru. And then there's a token validation happens. Okay, if the user is suspended user and he wants to log into a device where the Kanji MDM is already deployed, can he log in or not? So that's where the validation happens. It goes back to the IDP, checks whether the user is valid, checks whether the user is part of a relevant groups, and does the user password is still valid, and then it gives a handshake session back to the Iru agent, and then the local accounts. This will allow you to log in. So when the enrollment happens, right? So you might be like having a question, how actually it happens in the system. So when the enrollment is happening, so Iru Passport will, Iru will push out one config profile where the Apple directory services, which are responsible for creating the local accounts, are taken care by the Iru agent. So now the Iru agent will sync with your IDP, get your identities, get your email addresses, it will get your name and the password which is there in the IDP. It will create a local account, and then it will hand over the directory services back to the Apple directory services. That will allow your system to user to log in. These are the very common IDPs which are supported with Iru Passport. They have a direct integrations. If your organization is working with Okta, Google Workspace, OneLogin, or Microsoft Entra ID, these are readily available IDPs which can be used as an Iru Passport. So these are all, if you see on the screen, these are the different options that you can enable or you can disable based on your company's policies. So where you can, if you enable the local binding, you will enable the password sync, file vault unlock if you want to do it. So all these features, it depends again on the company and on the organization, how you are going to sync up with the, configure the Iru Passport, okay? Offline grace period is nothing but how much time do you want to keep the password sync with the system? The token generation happens, right, when the Iru agent and the IDP talks. So how much time you want to keep refreshing that one? So by default, it is very in the real time. But if you want to keep it for some fixed period of a time for some departments, okay, in that period of time, you have to you can use that one. Sorry. Which one? Secure enclave. Okay, sorry. Secure enclave. Yes, it is supported. These the IDPs which I've shown, right? They have a direct integrations. The secure enclave and all this, we need to have some different configurations to make it happen. Yes. So basically, when you create this library item, okay, you can tie it to multiple blueprints also. But again, it depends on what kind of configuration you're doing. So this is a real-time like page how it looks like actually when you configure a library item. So where you have the IDP of details, the local user, what kind of user, do you want to sync that, do you want to enable the file vault sync or not? If you want, because we definitely would need, but that's an option that is given by the Iru when we configure the. So this is how actual library item looks like. So as I said, like what are the benefits? So definitely, once we have this in place, we'll start reducing the incoming tickets for, can you reset my local password? Can you help me with logging into the IDP? I know the local password, but I forgot the IDP password. So all these are the things that we can be. And the very important thing, as I said, is the file vault integrations. File vault integration is very much needed. Also, there might be some organizations where you want to keep the MFA at the login as well. MFA could be like your Okta push notification, Google Authenticator, or any YubiKeys as well. So Apple doesn't support by natively to use the MFA at login, right? You'll have only a password, or you can use a fingerprint if it is locked. You can use it to unlock it. But MFA is not supported. With the use of Iru Passport, you can actually configure the MFA at the login instance also. So just assume a scenario where you got a login screen, you pass your IDP, login user and a password. If you have not configured MFA, it will take you to the home screen. But if you have configured the MFA, it will ask you to enter your MFA, whether it could be any, like push notification, or using the Touch ID as well, using the Okta FastPass, that is also can be enabled, or using the TOTP methods, anything. So adding another layer of security for login. So summarizing this Okta Passport, so what all you need is, you need the prerequisites, like in the science, like what is needed for the configurations. You need a blueprint assignments, where to which blueprint you want to assign. There might be like a couple of departments in the organization where you don't need passport itself. They'll handle only the local accounts. Okay, in that case, you can exempt that one. Once you configure, it will take over your local password. Okay. Some general, this is just a general troubleshooting steps. So you can sync, you can try to, if it doesn't sync after the change of your IDP password, you can use some general troubleshooting from the terminal command, or from remotely also, to make it happen and then sync with the IDPs. Now coming to the next part is the identity and the directory syncs. So when you configure this passport, so these are the things that it will actually consider on the backend. Okay, you need scheme provisioning. You would need the role-based access. This is again controlled on the IDP side, not on the Iru side. And obviously, once you have this established, there is a device trust happening on the device as well. So next day, if you have one password for your IDP and that device is and then you want to use a personal device, because of the device trust which is not built with the IDP and the Iru, you cannot, the user cannot log in as well. Okay. So the next thing is, this was about the passport, and this is a part B, where Iru has now evolved as an vulnerability management and compliance as well. So these are all the different frameworks actually Iru is using to detect and analyze and give a compliance report on the dashboard itself. Okay. So if you say, for example, you have a Google Chrome deployed on your system, Okay, and there was some vulnerability reported on version some 148.x. So these, it will go through all these frameworks. Wherever any framework has detected there is a vulnerability, it will post based on the criticality, whether it's a high alert, it's a medium alert, if it's a low alert, and then it will post on the dashboard. So you can see on the screen, like, it comes in, I think it's not clear, but if you can see this, the red marks and the yellow marks on the screen. So how any software which is there available in the in your deployments in the device will give you a report, and along with the CVE ID as well. So if you want to reference it, how it is actually picking up, you can see the CVE ID as well. So that will give you more context and more clarity up to the enterprise security team or the infra security team to actually decide whether you want to patch that version or if you want to hold that version. And you can continue with that one. So it will always give the alerts, but now I think Iru is still working on on their console to deploy the patch from the directly from where it is showing you the alerts. So right now there is no, that the feature is not there where you see a CV version and a alert, and you can directly patch from there. You have to again go back to the library, change your configurations or change the update timings and all, and then give a deployment. So there's a three steps that you have to do it when you are deploying it. But still, I think in the coming days, they'll definitely come up with an option where you can group all those vulnerabilities at one place and deploy it for the affected devices. So this is how a compliance engine works. So it is like it will define, it will detect, it will show the remediations, and it will give you the compliance report as well. So these reports you can actually download it, but not directly from the console. You need to use some API calls using some scripting. So because right now they have came up with the option of Prism. Earlier there was no option to download the reports on the Iru console, but now they have option of defining and creating filters under Prism, and then you can download it. This is just an example, like if you have a compliance check defined by your compliance team or security team, okay, you need so-and-so version, so-and-so updates. So you can always keep those things in mind and prepare your scripting as well. Also, this will help us for the audit loggings and the compliance report that are generated for SOC 2 audits or any other audits as well, where this is not only specified only for the vulnerabilities, but this happens for the every library item, every thing that is happening on the MDM. So where you can get the details of what activities user is doing on the device, any application installation is done via self-service, or any auto deployments are happening. All these things you can actually get it in the audit trails. You can download those audit trails. Based on these audit trails also, you can, and also like right now, the Iru also has the NCBS also enabled. So based on this, you can control the devices from locally. You need not have to log in there into the console and then do the deployments or get the device file vault key or erase the device or wipe the device. Everything can be done can be done now. These are just some examples that you see when creating the reports or integrating. So admin actions, you can see like who has changed the blueprint. So say tomorrow there are like a team of 10 people who are working for the in your team, and then you want to see who changed blueprint, who changed the library item. It is there available for the administrators. Device lock commands, definitely these are all the basic MDM things, but yes, I just wanted to explain all these things as well. So when it comes to Passport, yeah, definitely these features are available in other MDMs as well. So this is not a direct comparison. So don't feel like we are degrading the other MDMs, but these are the features that we actually want to present to you. Okay. So when it comes to Jamf, you have to use the Jamf Connect to achieve the same result, right? Unless you have Jamf Connect, you cannot have the IDP and the local password synced or local account created. But in Iru, this is a part of your MDM only. You need not have to purchase separately for the passport. It comes inside the MDM package only. So that is one of the advantage. If you are using Nomad or Xcred, yes, those are the open source tools and all. But then again, if your infra is completely on cloud and these Nomad and all might require an on-prem configurations and on-prem setup as well. So to mitigate that one, you can use this one as well. And obviously, by using manual scripting also, we can achieve this one. But for using the manual scripting, the device should be logged in to have a real-time sync. If the device is not logged in yet, it will not sync with your IDP password. But with the help of Iru agent, what happens is when the deployment happens and the backend, the process of the agent, whatever is happening, it will cache the password so that even if you don't have a network, you will be able to log in with your IDP password only, which was last synced. Maybe like if you change a password now and turn off the Wi-Fi on your system, still you will be allowed to use old password. Okay, so there won't be any break for the user to log into the system. Okay. So final key takeaways from this one. So one password, we can use it for across the system, across the Mac. No more tickets for password forgetting. Okay. MFA can be also enforced if you want to make it more secure, more avoid it more from vulnerabilities and all. Like you can use enforce MFA at the login itself. The real-time sync is always there. There is no delay in that one. Maximum to maximum, what I have seen in my organization, when we have this IDP password changed by a user, it will take not more than 30 minutes. And out of, we have seen only 1% where the system would have breaked syncing with the password, and by running one small single command that the you sync, that also gets resolved. So no need of again redeploying the MDM or refreshing the complete MDM so that we can get it. Yeah, that's it from my side. If you have any questions, I think we are still within the time. So yeah, thank you. Yeah. If you have any questions, we still have, I think, 3 minutes. Do you have mic? Well, they might be like, if you have not heard, the people who have not heard, I just repeat, like, so your good name?
Anurup.
Anurup. Anurup is asking like the world and the team, the companies are moving away from having one password at login, but not multiple passwords. Then why these things? So there might be some different scenarios, Anurup. So there might be cases where the company's policies, they don't want to have multiple passwords because password changing is also a very mandatory for any company. So, right. So you keep on changing the passwords. There are the cases where the IT will start getting the tickets again and again. So just to avoid these things, these options are there. And this is not mandatory that you have to use it when you are using Iru M2M. This is configurable. This is scalable based on the needs.
No, that's the question was, why are we suggesting? Because now we like to utilize secure enclave with the local password because it's less vulnerable. If someone hacks the password, it's a local machine password.
What if I enable the MFA as well? So if we do it, one password is compromised. Might be an IDP password or a local password, right? We consider both the cases. So if a local password is compromised, also this is the attacker will have an access
to that machine.
And once he has the access, he can do anything. But what if we have an extra layer that is MFA also been configured?
So adding a MFA over there.
Adding MFA is the primary thing that
key there.
Key for having the Iru Passport. Because Apple doesn't support or natively doesn't support MFA, right? Any other questions? Yeah, I think we are done. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Mohammed, for the wonderful session. It was really informative. And the QR code is right there. If you have any question, you can just scan this QR code and the question will go to the speaker, and you can, after every speaker's completes their speech, and then you will be getting this QR code. You can scan this, and if you have any question, you can ask them right there.